Good morning or afternoon or evening, lovely people. Guess where we are? We are at Bahnstormer BMW. And look at what I'm riding. It's only the new 2015 S1000RR. So let's do it. First things first, where's the heated grips button? Yeah. Ah. Bloody off. It's cold, it's wet, and I've got an S1000RR. Woohoo!
I just wanna be everything. I just wanna be everything. So I just wanna be everything. I just wanna be everything. I just wanna be
about the bike, I suppose, before we go on. 2015 model, it's all new, this bike. I don't think they've left anything alone on this bike. So what have they done? Well, it's got new styling. You know, the styling on this bike, I was a fan of it actually, the old one, but it was a little bit angular. And what they've done with this one, they've smoothed that off a little bit. It's a bit smoother, a bit less angular. I'm actually a fan of the new styling. I know some people aren't, but I do prefer it. Hey you guys! Have a feel in a minute. The suspension on this is fully electronic. So it's DTC, they call it. Dynamic, I don't know. DTC, dynamic, no, that's the traction control. It's got traction control as well, by the way. That's the DTC. The suspension is called, oh, what a shit review this is turning into already. The suspension is called the dynamic dampening control, the DDC, dynamic dampening control. There you go, we got there in the end. So that is basically fully electronic, fully automatic. It adjusts for the rebound, it adjusts the compression. So how does it feel? It feels lovely. My bike would be crashing over these bumps now. But I must say that has a lovely, lovely feel to it. The electronic aid box has been raided and thrown on this bike. It seems 2015 is the year of the electronic aid. This has got the lots. Traction control, the dynamic dampening suspension, lean sensor. I mean, I've got a lean angle sensor down here. Lean angle sensors, launch control, pit limiter. It's even got cruise control. That's cruise control. Hang on, he did show me how to use this. Cruise control. Push that across, pull that across. No, that's not it. Let's take her up to 50. Click that forward. We're cruising! We are cruising! We're on cruise, man! Ah, you can sit back now, get a paper out, do whatever you want, you know. Get your phone out, send a few texts. No, just turn it off. Just touch the brake, turns off. Well, I think you can flick that switch back. So that's nice. That is nice. So if you're going along and you do that, you can just take a bit of weight off your throttle hand, because that is a real pain when you're riding along and you've got your hands really aching on the throttle and you can't take it off, obviously. But if it's clear, you can just take that off. But it makes me wonder, is that a safety, is that a feature you want, to be taking your hand off of your brake? You know, I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. Well, we're going to have to do one here. We're going to have to do this truck. Let's put the old indicator on. Fucking hell, she's quick! Hello! Hello! How do you put the lights on this thing? I'm sure the lights are on, I guess they would be. The dash doesn't seem to be lit up though. I don't know how you work the lights. I know how to adjust the electronic suspension, but I don't know how to work the lights. Too many buttons. It's got more buttons than F16. Look at those switches. I mean, you couldn't fit anything else on those switches if you wanted to. I hope they've got no new features planned for next year because there's no button space left. The max lean angle is nothing. So far, my max lean angle achieved is 0. Well, that's not very impressive. That's not very impressive at all. That can't be right. I must have had some sort of lean angle. Oh no, it changes as you... So you're meant to look at that as you're riding? I don't think so. There we go, there's 12 now. Max lean angle 12 degrees. That's the Ramblers. I love it. I love it, the old Ramblers. 14 somethings and 12 degrees and 14 something else's. I'll have to look at what that means. Oh, that's left and right, isn't it? I was on 12 degrees to the left, 14 to the right. It's hardly Mark Marquez, is it? You do get the feeling straight away you can push this. I feel like I can push this quite hard now. If the roads were clear and warm and summery, not wintry, I could push this straight. I could get on this and just push it quite hard straight away around the corners. It's got that sort of feel to it. I think that's one of the changes they've made to the bike actually this year is ease of access to that power. That 200 horsepower, what's the point of having it if it's impossible to use because it's just too powerful? So they've made it easier, more accessible to the average rider. That's me then. Okay, we're going for an indicator. He said the shift light, don't worry about the shift light, that's set for the running period still, 8 grand. I don't have to worry about such things, it's just fully run in now. Slot in behind Mr. Waitrose. Thank you, Mr. BMW. I am on a fellow BMW, so I can cut you up. Because you're allowed to do that. It's one of the good things about riding a BMW, you can cut up other BMW riders or drivers. Very nice, very nice. Come on now, you're ruining... Oh, he's chucking McDonald's at me now. Where? Oh yes. She is one quick runner. I've just got combined brakes on her. Combined ABS. I don't think it has. I don't wish to find out either. I'm not testing ABS on this. Oh no. It's got an improved wheelie control as well. Oh, she's a lively one. Oh, it's a shame these roads are all wet and greasy. I'd love to try and see what it's like to get your knee down. Instead I'm driving down like a complete pussy. Complete pussy. Not now though, I'm going to give it some beanage now. Let's give her a real gunning from first. Real gunning first gear. Not second gear, first is just too short. Let's go around the corner a bit and then this. Fucking hell. Oh my word, that wheelie just bounces along the ground. That is fucking fast. That just keeps on going. Oh, I realise now I wasn't even giving it any before. You get into that full power band at the top there, and it bloody shifts. Applicability we've already established, it feels nimble. It feels very nimble. This is 199 in the crank and it feels like it. It feels like it. That really starts to sing when you get down the upper power band back there. That really started to sing. Drop it down a cod. Watch the pod. baby. I love it. Shame it's winter, I can't exploit that. I'm not a wet weather rider either, I hate wet roads, they just scare me. Well, here she is. I've just pulled over for a little break for a moment and just have a little walk around the bike. I mean, what a machine. I mean, a lot of people, you know, the styling of these isn't for everyone. I think there's a lot of people who aren't sure about the "hi guys" headlights. But I think with this revised model, the styling, BMW have actually made it much more attractive. It was slightly rounded off features, slightly rounded off styling. I think it looks much nicer. I'm a real fan of it. I also really like the painted infill panels. The old bike had like a horrible plastic panel here. And they're still plastic, obviously, but they don't look plastic. A bit of paint on it, it really brings it together and ties it together. And there's a lot of people also have mentioned quality of these, and there's been some criticism sort of said about the old ones and a lot of switchgear failures and stuff like that. The quality of the bike, looking at it, of the bolts, you know, it's very good. I mean, it's covered in salt now, thanks to me, but it looks very good. The only thing I've never been a fan of is the frame. Looks a bit cheap, with like the pitted powder coat frame. I'm not a great fan of that. It's got lovely milled yoke on the top, nice little BMW badging. Switchgear all feels very good. But yeah, it's a really nice bike. It's a really nice bike. And like I say, I'm a big fan of that new styling of it. I think it looks great. I think even the headlights now, you know, I know. Oh, that's quite nice. Little RR on the reflectors there, nice little touch. But I think that little snub nose piece, yeah, I think it just finishes it off. I think I like it. I like it a lot. I'm impressed with it. I need to get back on the road now. But the exhaust, I mean, yeah, standard cans are never nice, are they? I mean, I've seen better, but not for, you know, standard bike, I suppose. I mean, I think manufacturers now have really decided that they know people are just going to change them. They're not going to keep the standard cans on there, so they don't put much thought into them. I mean, it's got a nice sound, that one, which is the main thing with the exhaust, isn't it? But looks-wise, it looks okay, but I'm sure some aftermarket peeps will be along shortly to better that part of it. But it's nice, really nice, really nice. So I'm going to get back out now, get some more miles under my belt. See what the shop's called Bahnstormers, because this is a Bahnstormer. It's a really nice bike. I could see myself on this. If I think this version is the sport one. This is the more expensive one. There's also a non-sport one, I guess, a base one. Actually, the base one's about 13.5, 13.6, something like that. This is the full Monty. This is the full sport, which I think is just shy of 15, 14.7 or something like that. I'll flash it across the screen here. But that's a lot of money. 15 grand on a bike. I just don't know whether I could. The missus would say I definitely couldn't. But I don't know if I could spend 15 grand on a bike which is just a plaything. I mean, yeah, if you want to commute on this, if you want to use it as your daily transport, fair play to you. Fair play to you. I think it'll be a great all-rounder. Certainly comfortable enough. After the pegs. But if you like me, your bike is just a summer toy. 15 grand is a lot of money for a summer toy, and that's my dilemma to buying a new bike. Because the way I use it, just for pleasure, I don't think I can justify 15 grand. But that's just me. You may have more money than me. You may be in a position where 15 grand is mere pittance. You spend 15 grand on a weekend out. But for me, 15 grand is a lot of money if you want to get on something with all the bells and whistles. And let's be honest, this does have all the bells and whistles. This has everything. I'm going to see if I can work the controls here. In the moment, what are we in? I don't know mode on it. Probably been driving around in rain mode, for all I know. Hang on. Oh, we're in race. We are in race. I haven't been riding around crapping myself in wet road. We have the full power. We have the full 200 horsepower. What's the time? I can't see the time on here. I can see the lap time. 19 seconds 40. Oh, that's not bad for Basingstoke and back. But I've got no time, so I'm going to have to try and work out how I get to the time options. I don't, you know, I'm a bit like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. This is rain mode now. Let's see how it feels in rain mode. Let's get some beans in rain mode. It should be called rain mad, not rain mode. Hang on, let's go. That's not exactly fucking slow, that's for sure. But it's just taking the edge off it a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely in rain, but it's not fucking slow by any means. It's still quick as you like. We don't have rain anyway. I didn't borrow this bike to ride around in bloody rain. Right, let's go over the hill. Back to race mode, please. That's the trouble. Would I ever put it in anything less than race? It's one of those features that I just want full power all the time. Oh, I don't want to tone it down. You don't buy a 200 horsepower bike just so you can make it run at 150 horsepower, do you? What's the point in that? So again, it's one of those features. Would you ever turn it down? I don't know. I guess if you're trying to save fuel or something gay, you might, but no, give me full power, please. It feels stable. And that's, I've completely forgotten about that suspension. There's me going on about this dynamic dampening suspension, and I've completely forgotten it's got it. You know, it's not being intrusive, it's just giving me a really smooth ride without me even thinking about it. That's what you want. You know something. You know an electronic aid is working well, and you've completely forgotten about it. Let's try the biffer again without the clutch. No clutch. Yeah, that's cool. Downshift is cool. But yeah, what was I saying? Electronic aid. One of the things you know. Look at that, man. That's cool. Look at that, baby. That's a view for you, huh? You didn't expect to see that in this BMW S1000 review, did you? A low-flying helicopter. So yeah, electronic aids, never mind the choppers, electronic aids, that's when you know they're working well, is when you don't know you've got them, when you can't feel it working. I've noticed the traction control flip a couple of times when I overtook that tractor up here. And the empty wheelie could have been coming in back there as well. That was very smooth. The old bike was always on about, you know, it's a free vasectomy with one of these when you wheelie it, but this new one, the way that came in with the empty wheelie, was really smooth. It just felt really cool, like bouncing along like that. That was impressive. That was impressive. I don't expect Bahnstormers really wanted me to be testing the anti-wheelie and the traction control on this test ride. But it's the way these things work out, you know. You give me a 200 horsepower bike, you know, I'm going to give it some beans. The cattle grid on S1000. Oh, that's a bit scary. We're going to pull up and do some shots now. Show off the beauty of this machine. I don't think I'm ever going to get used to that. Ow, cramp. Ow, it's giving me cramp now. Oh, on the grass. It's giving me cramp now. What's the trouble, isn't it? You're contorting your legs into silly positions. Cramp. 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 Oh, you bugger. Oh, you bugger you are. Cramped me. I used to lean over a lot on that side stand. What a machine. What a machine. Well, static stuff done. Oh, it's time to hit the road again. We'll try and get some more riding in. Enough fanning with cameras and arty-farty shitty titties. Let's hit the road again. Basically, once you pulled away on this bike with the clutch, you don't need it again. You just need it to pull away and that's it, you're done with it. You can just sit there and do nothing. I'm also one of these people who hovers over the clutch all the time, like this, riding like this, waiting for the next gear change. And with this bike, that would get me out of that habit because you just don't need to touch the fucking thing. Just keep your hands on the bars. And that's the end of it. Forget about your clutch. If anything, you'll be forgetting to pull it in when you pull up on the lights and stuff and end up stalling the bike because you just forget that you need to use it. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm really liking it. Really like it. It's so comfortable. Apart from the pegs, I mention again. My long legs, the pegs aren't the best, but apart from that, the seat is comfy. Just feels nice. It just feels like you're at home. I've had this bike for an hour and a half so far, and it just feels like, you know, I'm at home with it now. You know, I don't want to give it back. But could I spend 15 grand on one? I guess that is the question, isn't it? Oh, if it was 10 grand, I could try and make it happen. Yeah, if that's what you're willing to spend, 15 grand on a bike, I think you'd have to go look a long. I don't know. I mean, like I say, 2015 is the year of the liter bike, where all that technology has come to, all that MotoGP style technology has literally come to the road. You can buy it at your local showrooms, and this is BMW's flagship, which has got all that technology on it, and it works very well. I haven't tried the ABS out yet. I'm hoping to avoid doing that, but I've had a bit of the anti-wheelie coming in, I've had the traction control click in. It's nice it's nice to have, you know, you've got that little safety net there as well. Like some of that, you're giving it hard throttle overtaking on these conditions, and you know you've got traction control, you know you're not going to have a massive high side. It's nice. It's nice having that safety net in the background, and knowing it's there if you want it, or if you need it, should I say. So I could really like some of those mod toys on my bike. Whether I could spend 15 grand to get them, oh, I just don't know. It's a hell of a machine. Oh, I forgot to use the auto flipper. Let's try it again. There she be. She's hanging off the bike. Those peg positions feel really nice. His knees sticking right out. Auto flipper. That just makes you want to go fast as well. Having that blipper there just gives you that, you want to just knock it up and down, you want to pretend, oh, look at that shit in a row. You want to pretend you're on track. Source blipper. Oh, that is sexual. Absolutely sexual. Don't care what you say. Quick shifter. It's sexual. It makes you want to go. I wish it was summer. I don't want to bin it. 28 degrees is the most lean angle I've had so far. As I say, I'm a complete wussy when it's wet. Especially when it's not my bike and it's got 750 pounds. Deposit sat. BMW. I have greasy roads, I'd be a fool to try and start chucking it around. A fool! I'd be a fool! Right, come on sir, I've had enough of your back doors. I want to go. Release me. Release me, sir. I do not wish to look at your back doors any longer. They're far too clean, those back doors, for a white van. There's something not right there. It's obviously not normal. See you, sir. Oh. See you later. Oh, high beam's on again. Stop hitting high beam. He thinks I'm being a right twat behind him, flashing him. I've got to keep off that high beam though. Also flipper down. And right hand. See ya! Holy moly! Oh, just got some top end. This is exactly what I didn't want to happen. I didn't want to come out on a bike and then be left wanting one. Ah! Oh, I guess it was inevitable. Bound to happen, wasn't it? You come out and ride a machine like this, you're going to want one. You know, it's human nature. You ride a bike as good as this, and you will want one. I want one. Give me one of these bikes. Spin the wheel. Give me one of those grips. And I'm so glad I've just put heated grips on my bike, because these are lovely. These are really nice. Go away, Mr. Posty. These grips feel lovely and toasty in my hands now. Right, that'll do now. I think we're flipper. Oh, that's sexual. That is sexual, that flipper. Ta-da! Get a bit of high beams on again. There you can feel that wheelie control. Cutting it then. See ya! I think you're going to need high beams on again. I think you're going to need more gripping ropes. What a machine! Absolute weapon. And I tell you, it does complement your riding. This is an easy bike to ride fast. This could get you in all sorts of trouble very quickly, because it is very accessible. It really is. Really is easy to ride fast. I mean, these are horrible English country roads, and it's just soaking up the bumps. It feels like on a racetrack. It's just making these roads, which I know are bad because I ride these all the time on my bike. I know these roads are potholed to hell and ripply as hell, but I'm just not feeling it on this. Just not feeling it on this. Don't touch my clutch again. That's going to take again, you still do it. Right, here we go. I see a Punto. Was it a Nissan? I don't know. It's shit anyway. See you later. Go for the wheelie. Little bounce. Why is there always a shitty Toyota in front of you? You want to go quick? Come on, mate. You've got four wheels. I've only got two, and I'm right up your jacksie. It's wet. You should have the advantage. And you have these mirrors, so I can't want my pin locks all steamed up from the very little pin locky bit. See ya! Ladies! Fucking hell. Fucking power on it. So wheels up at just like 80, 90. The wheels, fucking wheelie controls keeping the wheel down. Friggin' quick. Oh, I think it's time for a bit of cruise control. You know, I'm bored of thrashing around. Let's just poodle along, no-handed. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do on the Muppet Show tonight. So yeah, cruise control, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I guess if you sat on the motorway, it could be nice. But I'm not sure why it's a good idea to take your hand off the brake in any circumstances, really. For any extended circumstances, anyway. Oh, get off that clutch! Get off that clutch! Ooh. Why would you not want to use that flipper? It sounds heavenly. Right, let's have a quick. I'm going to have to go back in a minute, and I really don't want to. I think that's the thing. You need to take this bike out for a decent ride. It's no good doing half an hour. You can't settle into it. I've had 2.5 hours on this today, and that's enough time for this bike to feel like my own now. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I think the R1, the Ducati 1299, it's got a lot to do to better this. It has a hell of a lot to do if it's going to give a nicer ride and a better experience than this bike. I mean, this is a bike, I think this is a bike you can do everything on. Whereas the 1299 is very focused on going very quickly and being fucking mental. Whereas this, you can go touring on it, you can poodle, or you can go mental on it. I think it's going to be hard to find a bike which can do everything so well as this. This is what this bike does so good. It does everything really well. It's not just a track weapon. It can be a commuter. Whereas I wouldn't fancy commuting on a Panigale. This is where this bike works. This is why this bike's so good. Absolutely sexual.